Hey guys, it's Yvette. I've decided to take tonight to sort of do a few book reviews, and I'm saying a few because I think I might do more than two. So I don't want to say a couple because maybe I'll do more. I'm not sure. Ever since I did the other book reviews, I've read a few books, so I just thought I would just give a go at giving a few more book reviews, and I'm going to try to do something a little bit different. I'm going to read the synopsis from Goodreads so that you'll kind of get an idea of what the book is about, because before, me just kind of vaguely talking about whether I like it or not is not really helping anybody, I'm sure, to know whether or not they'd like to read a book. So this first book, and I'm going to be reading the synopsis right from my laptop. So if I'm looking this way, it's because I'm looking at my laptop. Okay, so the first book I'm going to talk about is Pretty Girls by Karin Slaughter. Now, Karin Slaughter, I have only just discovered, and I love her. Okay, now if you are sensitive to foul language, or if you are triggered by extreme violence, then please don't read these books. These books are not for you. For me, I don't know why, but like gritty stuff like that, I just love. Now I have to admit that there are a few times when, because her books are always just very violent in parts, but those parts are they are true to the story. So it's not like you can kind of go, oh, why did she have to? I feel like she's much more confident and bold than other authors. Just my opinion, because she goes there. She totally, I have a feeling, I have never, thank goodness, been in a situation with that much violence. But you know what? I think it's true. I think it's so true to life, and it just kind of makes you think oh my goodness, I've never really thought about what it would be like to be in a situation like that, and how just freaking scary. And anyway, so that's my overview of Karin Slaughter. I think she's awesome. I love all her books that I've read so far, and I heard about her maybe a month ago, and I think I've read 4 books already, so I like them. Here's the synopsis for Pretty Girls. Number 1 internationally best-selling author Karin Slaughter returns with a sophisticated and chilling psychological thriller of dangerous secrets, cold vengeance, and unexpected absolution, in which 2 estranged sisters must come together to find truth about 2 harrowing tragedies 20 years apart that devastate their lives. Sisters, strangers, survivors. More than 20 years ago, Claire and Lydia's teenage sister, Julia, vanished without a trace. The 2 women have not spoken since, and now their lives could not be more different. Claire is the glamorous trophy wife of an Atlanta millionaire. Lydia, a single mother, dates an ex-con and struggles to make ends meet. But neither has recovered from the horror and heartbreak of their shared loss, a devastating wound that's cruelly ripped open when Claire's husband is killed. The disappearance of a teenage girl and the murder of a middle-aged man, almost a quarter-century apart. What could connect them? Forming a wary truce, the surviving sisters look to the past to find the truth, unearthing the secrets that destroyed their family all those years ago, and uncovering the possibility of redemption and revenge where they least expect it. Powerful, poignant, and utterly gripping, packed with indelible characters and unforgettable twists, Pretty Girls is a masterful thriller from one of the finest suspense writers working today. Oh my gosh. When I read that, I had to get the book. And, right now, it's I'm sitting here thinking, what could I possibly say to explain this book without... I think that it would probably be impossible for me to give it away. Mainly because I don't think that the entire purpose of her writing this book was about trying to keep whodunit from you. I think it's more about the revelation of like what happens when you find out the truth, and do you really want to know the truth, and then how it affects you like afterward. I mean, so the book starts and we're basically just told that Julia had been, like, she just disappeared. They never found her body. They never, you know, they don't know what happened. Was she killed? Is she kidnapped and someone has her? I mean, they just, to this day, like present time, nobody knows what happened to Julia. And so this has basically ripped apart their whole family. Like, their parents divorced, the sisters haven't talked to each other. It's just, it turned into, it just devastated the whole family. And I'm sure that this is probably exactly what happens to families where something like this happens. It's like, I remember, and I'm certainly not comparing. Please, anybody watching this, I'm not comparing it as the same way. For me, maybe because I do think of my pets as my babies. I know I've said that before, but I remember when Patches, that's my first babies, Patches, she was our little girl, she's Calico, and she got lost one day. And she was lost, and this is when we were living in Long Beach, California. She was lost for like a week, and I mean, I was just like devastated. And the worst part was, here was Jim telling me that it's because I left the door open. And I did have the door open, but it was because we had no air conditioning. It was summer, it was like stinking hot, and so I had opened the door and I'd put a fan in the doorway to like bring in like the cool air from outside, because the warm. Anyways, I just know that was only a week, guys, and I just remember how devastated I was, because I just kept imagining what people could possibly do to my baby. Like, I didn't know if she had been hit by a car. Did she actually get completely out? Because we lived in this building where there was a fence and like a lock, like you had to like open a gate to be able to get in. It wasn't like gated. I mean, I guess it was, but it wasn't like, anyways. The point is, I can't even imagine what it would be like to, after 25 years, whatever in the heck it is, I don't remember exactly, and still not knowing. So basically, and then when all this stuff happens with Claire's husband, and then you start finding out about her husband and all these other peripheral people who like come in and they're like, oh my gosh, I've known these people forever. And it's just, the whole story was so well put together and told. If you like this kind of book, I cannot recommend it highly enough. I think it was gripping. It was horrifying. It was scary. It made me cry. It was, there were these points where you're thinking, oh my gosh, no more could possibly happen. It's just a great story. I think she's a great storyteller. And yeah, so I'm having a hard time coming up with more to say, because I actually read this book probably like 3 weeks ago now. And I'm terrible about remembering like little details, but I do remember that sometimes with her books, though, I can't read her books like back to back. I need like a little break in between. They're that good. I mean, to me, that's good. So that's my review of Pretty Girls. And if you have read it as well, let me know what you thought down below. And I'll see you in a bit. Bye!